Oh man, I've made somewhat of an attempt to brush and contain my hair today. It's not working, but I had to get out and get some gas. And gas right now is higher than a Cheech and Chong record. And I kind of feel like I need a guest cameo from either Cheech and Chong or Willie Nelson on this next video just because of the high price of gas right now. But it's not going to stop me. Let's get on with it. We're here today at Wise Fire Coffee in Blacksburg, South Carolina with caffeine, and it's great caffeine. Mine is just a little bit of raw cacao powder with espresso and a little bit of milk on ice. And as I promised, gas is high as hell, and this video requires a guest appearance. So what I decided to do, I called the police. This is the police.
Howdy.
Introduce yourself, Michael.
So my name's Michael Blanton. Been a police officer for about 4 years now. Been an avid music fan for about 32 years now. So we're here to have fun, drink coffee.
And we're going to talk about Metallica, specifically the introduction of Jason Newsted. And Jason came into the band following the tragic death of bassist Cliff Burton during a bus accident. Some black ice caused a bus wreck, and he lost his life. Luckily, they believed that he was asleep at the time of the accident and did not experience anything, so we're kind of grateful for that. But Cliff was a great bassist, and Metallica lost a lot when he passed away.
That's actually the reason I play bass today. So.
And the reason you wanted to participate in this video. Yep. The first introduction of Jason was actually not a studio album. It was the 598 Garage Days Re-Revisited EP. And before we go into this, we got to touch on what Garage Days Re-Revisited is, because there is still, to this day, even with the infinite wisdom of the internet, a lot of confusion about an original Garage Days Revisited album that does not exist. So, I should probably be kicked in the teeth for this, but I went and hunted down what was the actual original Garage Days Revisited. It wasn't Garage Days Revisited. It was side 2 of Metallica's Creeping Death Euro single. And I don't want to talk about how much this cost me, but it was pretty pricey for the condition it's in. For documentary purposes, I bought it anyway. Then this is it. That's the cover. That's the back cover. And side 2, Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg, Garage Days Revisited. This is it. Do not spend $200 and $300 on a bootleg of the original Garage Days that doesn't look like this.
Unless you're going to send it to me, and then I'll gladly take it. You're going to send it to me, and then I'll gladly take it.
It will definitely be a bootleg. There is no such album as the original Garage Days Revisited, or an EP either, for that matter. Just the Euro single. And that should cost you somewhere between $50 and $100 realistically. If that much, depending on where you are. So, the Garage Days Re-Revisited, the 598 EP, it's got a sticker on the front, just like the original release did, that advised you to steal it if it costs more than $5.98. Now it runs for about $13, so it's no longer $5.98. You can thank inflation and the fact that they pressed it on 180 gram vinyl, which is cool. It sounds great. They didn't do a lot with the packaging, because the original didn't do a lot with the packaging. The sticker even says, still not very produced. These recordings are raw, but this was the very first release with Jason Newsted on bass. And his bass is not muted, and we'll come back to that in a minute. But this is also the release that kind of skyrocketed awareness of old Misfits songs with the cover of Last Caress and Green Hell. And as far as the packaging, they didn't do a whole lot with this. It's just in a black sleeve. It's very simple. Very, very simple. But it does sound phenomenal. And I'll do some close-up shots of the cover and the label near the end of this video, going into probably less detail than I am now, because there's not really a lot to look at. This is one that you buy specifically to hear. So if you buy it and leave it sealed, you're wasting your time. Open the thing up and listen to it. This is a great recording. Michael, you got any input on this one?
I will say a lot of these songs, despite this EP, have already been heard. They were re-released for like the however manyth time once Metallica did the Garage Days.
Garage Inc.
Garage Inc. I'm sorry, Garage
I almost
Inc.
bought that last weekend, but I decided to pass on it.
Most of these, or actually all of these songs, are heard on the second disc, second tape, vinyl, whatever art medium you decided to go through. So I can guarantee most of these have been heard, but this is still, for any Metallica collector, a definite must-have. So yeah.
Great record. Next up, I'm just going to go ahead and slide these out. This is the 180 gram and Justice for All. And this is where I'm going to start, because there is a major, major, major missed opportunity with this cover. This is a 2-record set. There's only one pocket. And I hate when bands shove 2 vinyls inside of a single pocket, because it compromises the integrity of the cover. This should have been done as a gatefold. And I don't even care if the original version was a single pocket. This is a 180 gram reissue. This is intended to be a special packaged version of it. They should have taken the effort to make this a gatefold cover with more artwork and some information about the anniversary inside the gatefold. That would have been awesome. It also would have helped protect the vinyls for a longer period, as well as keep the cover integrity intact. But they didn't do that. And I don't know why. I can only assume that it's to save cost. These are released through Blackened Records, which is Metallica's own label, and I'm assuming they kept it very simple with a single pocket to save on money. And I found this at Walmart, of all places. I was not expecting to see a Metallica vinyl in Walmart, but they had it. And where they did go above and beyond was with the vinyl itself. And you've probably seen a clip of this in the intro sequence to the show on the turntable. They did a really beautiful swirled green with this that just looks amazing. And the sound quality is phenomenal too. But then they cut the corners on sleeves. And they did the basic poly-lined anti-static sleeves, which are fine. But they took away the original sleeves. What they did in place of the original sleeves, again common with 180 gram releases, it's a single sheet with the lyrics, photo, a little bit of information on the band, but it's a single sheet. It's no longer a pocket, and it's smaller than it would have been originally. If my memory is serving correctly, I do believe this was the original design for the sleeves. Do you know for sure?
A bit before my time. So
I would have to dig into some videos. And if I got it wrong, I'll mention that in the follow-up where I'm doing the close-ups of these. It also comes with a digital download card. And it's got Justice on one side and the code and the remastered version on the other. And I've not redeemed this, so I'm just going to keep it covered, because I might actually redeem this and sync it back to my phone. And the hype sticker that was present with Walmart emphasizes the green vinyl.
it's also my favorite Metallica album.
Sure, which is really interesting, because there's something else that you had to say about this album.
It's an argument that's been made time and time and time and time and time again.
I assume because you're a bass player.
It is. I really wish we could have heard more of Jason on this album, being his debut album, and even the remasters of this album, the anniversary editions, are still a bit lacking in that department.
So it's lacking a little bit of kick in the butt, as well as a gatefold presentation that really should have been present. So as far as sound quality, I've played this and it sounds great, as well as great as it can sound through my very limited sound system. I don't have a very expensive sound system. I literally have a turntable with a Bluetooth speaker. So I spend my money on the vinyls, not necessarily the system to play them back. because I'm broke. Gas now is compounding it, and I'm trying to get Mike to just go arrest everybody that's driving the cost up, but he says he can't do it.
We're driving horse and buggy now.
Right.
So,
Well, we are near a bunch of farms, so I might ride a cow to work
Makes
next
sense.
week. It's very possible.
wouldn't be the first one I've seen going down the road.
And for those of you wondering where we are, we're in a little coffee shop in Blacksburg, South Carolina that actually sells the beans that I produce. This is Wisefire Coffee, and the barista Haley is hiding from us today. She's way back there somewhere. She's probably in camera shot and doesn't realize it, but she's very camera shy and does not want to talk. But everyone say hello, Haley, and maybe one day we'll get her to pop in and wave at everyone. Anything else you want to toss in on this?
I mean, I'm full of interesting Metallica factoids, but I don't know that they were...
What's the weirdest?
The weirdest? Oh, God. You've got a 40-year career to pick from there, from ranging from the band being known as Alcoholica to the one that everybody seems to know, like the firing of Dave Mustaine, because he drank more than everyone else in a band known as Alcoholica, which then, of course, led to the formation of Megadeth, or the fact that Jason Newsted, like most people think, is not actually Metallica's second bass player. He's actually their third.
True.
With Ron
McGovney was the first.
Being the first.
I met Ron. He was awesome.
Yeah. So, they're a great live band. Seen them back in 03 on Rob Trujillo's first tour. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Which Rob came from Suicidal Tendencies, which is another band that I've been listening to since I was a teenager.
He's the only man that I can see go all the way to the ground without actually limboing while playing bass. It's scary. He gets like down in the crab walk position and just walks all over stage.
Thanks, guys, for watching. There's more coming up with the close-up shots of what they've done with these vinyl releases, all in photos, and I'll have a little more things to say, I'm sure, during that process. And stay tuned. And I brushed my hair today.
I did.
He didn't. Mine's under control for now, till the wind blows it. Let's give you guys a quick close-up view of this Creeping Death single cover. That's the front, and this is the back with Cliff Burton. This was done in 1984. Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg were the first two Garage Days recordings, and they are the only two. There's a good shot of the center label. This is the Music for Nations version, and I do believe there are alternate versions available as well. Going into the 598 Garage Days Re-Revisited, this is the front cover of the 180-gram reissue, and the back cover, pretty faithfully reproduced comparative to the original versions. This is the new label. The original label advertised to steal it if it costs more than $5.98. This new one does not. And this is a look at the center label that's featured on the vinyls, and it's just black vinyl that I have. Going into And Justice for All, Lady Liberty looking broken. The back cover. And this is the insert sheet with the photo of the band, and the back side has lyrics on it. And this, I do believe, was the original sleeve. These are released by Blackened Recordings, which is Metallica's own branding. Center label and that beautiful green vinyl. I have no complaints on this vinyl other than the fact that it wasn't presented as a gatefold. And that's the card that's inside with the code to redeem the freebie copy for download. Hi guys, thank you again for taking the time to watch our videos. These things, just like one of the records that we just talked about, are not very produced. They are literally done guerrilla style with a cell phone as the primary recording medium, actually the only recording medium. Most of the money that we're spending on this is literally going into the records that we're talking about on screen. If you want to support what we're doing, these videos are not monetized. But still, please like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and if you really want to get behind what we're offering, take a look at concafesc.com. The video at the tail end will show the web address. That is our coffee website. We do roast our own coffee, and we don't roast it until it's ordered, so it's guaranteed to show up for you extremely fresh. Thank you, and good night.